So in this video, I want to go a bit more into liquidity grabs and stop hunts, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. What matters is the concept, the idea behind the word, not the word itself. So how does that work? And how does that look on Bookmap to have the ultimate confirmation to really tell you, okay, this is what's happening. We have some absorption, some exhaustion, some trap long, some trap shorts. All of these kinds of informations that are just going to give you all the confluence you need to be really confident in the entry on your trades. So here I'm on the replay mode. This was at 6 a.m. this morning. It's now 10 a.m. This is the chart I woke up to basically. I notice we are in a strong downtrend. That's pretty obvious. We're here on the 1 hour time frame, by the way, on gold. So this is what I see. I see that during the night, we did push down and kind of failed, and we grabbed these lows here, right? People had their stop losses here, some people longed here, boom, aiming for whatever, and they had some stop losses here. And we pushed down, grabbed and put a wick, and then a pretty bullish candle here on the 1 hour. I'm not interested in long at all at this point, but I do see that this gave us kind of the fuel, right? Grabbing that liquidity, these stop losses, it gave us the fuel to push price up, which is good for me because I want to short, but I want to short from an interesting level. And that interesting level is going to be what? It's going to be another level of liquidity where stop losses are. Similar to here, but to the upside in this case. And this is the first level that popped out. Actually, it's kind of a double level because it's a double top. So kind of like you have more chances of having stop losses there. And price is going to be attracted to it. And then if it rejects, it's going to reject hard, right? So this is what I saw this morning. I'm just going to keep one line because if they go for this high, they're going to take this high too, most likely. So I'm looking at this, it's 6 a.m. I'm now going to move to the 5-minute time frame, see where these highs are. We have these highs here, and we have actually some more up here. That doesn't matter. So looking at this, I actually took another trade. You can see it in one of my short videos. I took on the 1 minute. I'm going to go through it quickly, I guess. It's also a perfect strategy, but on a lower time frame. Okay, you have some highs here, and that's it. That's as literally a few minutes after I sat in front of the screen. That was it. You can see it in my shorts. You can see my P&L too. It was something like that. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. I'm not going to go too much into this trade because I already made a video about it, but you can see liquidity grab, trend line, boom. They're grabbing all of these stop losses that you have here. You have stop losses here, 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 and they go and grab them. Boom, and then they push up because that gave us fuel to push back up. And I think after that, I took profit on a 1-to-1, 1-to-1.3, but I think after that we went to grab some more highs, but we grabbed some lows later. Okay, so back to this. Look at that. So now we're pushing up. We get to my level. Immediate reaction, right? Now what do you have here? This is what's interesting. You have your strategy. You have your idea. If we grab some stop losses over here, and we grab these highs too, by the way. If we grab some stop losses, it's going to give some fuel, most likely, to go back on the downtrend, right? That alone makes quite a bit of sense just looking at the chart. You have your reaction, you have a big wick, you have your reaction, that's enough. But then this is where Bookmap just is beautiful because now at these highs, right, this here is this. All right, this high is this high, okay? So let's have a look at what happened here. First of all, you can see this orange line here was a level of limit orders, short limit orders that got filled with this big green dot here, and then it disappeared because, well, all these orders got filled, right? What do you see here? You see some big green buyers at the top, then a little pullback, and then a push up. Some green buyers a little bit less big, right? A little bit less big. So you have less buyers here than you had here. So you have a bit of exhaustion. I'm going to get into what this is. And you have also absorption. So let's start with the absorption. The absorption is when you have big limit orders that are absorbing all of the market buys. So these big green dots are people clicking on the button, right? Like clicking on like buy, sell right now, like as price is moving. And these limit orders are people that an hour ago, 2 hours ago, a day earlier, they said, hey, whenever we get to 31.95 here, I'm gonna short 10, 15, 20 contracts, right? So when the market buyers get into this, either they're strong enough to push price through the limit orders, or they're not strong enough and the limit orders kind of like suck it up, they just like drink, absorb, that's the word, all of the market buyers, and then there's just no more buyers in the market. So sellers stepping and push price down. So this is what you're seeing here. You're seeing absorption of these guys because they don't push price up, actually price goes down. Then there's a second attempt, a bit weaker, almost as strong to be fair, but a bit weaker. So you can see a bit of exhaustion here, meaning you have less buyers here than you had here. It's not that clear in this case. There's not that much exhaustion, but what you do have for sure, it's a lot of absorption because big buyers, pretty decent buyers, and price just fails. And then you have your market shorts now entering, confirming our bias that if we go here, take these people's stop losses, again, all the people that shorted here, let's say, they had their stops here, whatever, stopped out. So that is giving, for the market, that's giving what I like to call fuel. It's giving energy. Now the market's got enough cash, let's say, enough liquidity to push price down, right? This is just, I mean, it's a perfect setup. In previous videos, you can see me talk about having trend lines below, and then we're going to go for the lows of these trend lines, and that's true, and that's like the perfect setup. But you don't even have to worry about trend lines too much. What you want to be looking at is a general trend that you want to follow, so you have a plan. Now you look at some highs, you put yourself in the shoes of the other traders that were here, the night before, the day before. You're like, all right, there's some people here who shorted, right? And we know that price likes to go and screw people over, right? You know that because you've been screwed over so many times. I get screwed over all the time. So that's what, unfortunately, but that's how it works. That's what price needs to do to keep on going in a certain direction. Before going somewhere, it's going to have to screw people over. And you're like, all right, who can we screw over here this morning, right? Well, these people shorted here. They got stop losses here, right? Now these guys, they shorted here. They got some stop losses right here. Now also you have these guys, good for them. These guys are safe, right? They didn't get screwed. But you see the idea, right? And we're also pushing price up, so we're trapping a lot of people are like, oh yeah, we're going up, guys. This is the reversal now. Let me put my stop down here. We're going long all over there, right? So you're screwing also the longs. You're taking the shorts, right? You're taking their stop losses, and you're making longs believe like, oh, we're gonna reverse. So now you got some more longs. The breakout traders, which I try not to do too much. I do some breakouts, but only with the trend, not against the trend, right? Anyone who's longing this against this price action, come on, man. I mean, yeah, I'm not doing it at least. So these guys, a lot of longs here, as you can see, all these guys got trapped. So they are also giving liquidity fuel to the market to push back down, right? So we have all of the ingredients here. We have their stop losses from the shorts. We've trapped some longs. Now price, in fact, can go down. right? And down it went like hardcore. Like, listen, every setup is not going to be that perfect, okay? I'm not trying to advertise you, even though I can have a little bit of a clickbait kind of, what is it, presentation to the video. I don't know how it's called. But yeah, this is not going to be your trade all the time, okay? I do one-to-ones, okay? I'm a one-to-one kind of guy. In this case, by the way, I took my win here, as I showed you. You can this morning, so I was done trading. I was walking my dog when this happened. Kind of regret it, but I'm happy. Like if I take a trade in the morning, guys. So this trade, I took it at 7:02 a.m. Right? I was out of it at 7:12 a.m. It was a 12-minute trade, I think. I was done for the day. I'm happy. I made 400 and whatever dollars. Like I'm good. Why, risk giving your money back to the market? But in this case, if I had been on the charts, probably I would have taken it on the 1 minute. And my trade would have been like probably something like this, right? Maybe aiming for these lows here, so 1 to 1.4, okay? Now, could I let some run, like maybe take 50% off the trade and then let it run because I can see that, it's such a powerful bearish trend? Maybe, but I don't care. What matters here is the setup, and I'm going to show you some more. First of all, let's go to Bookmap now, again. This for me is the key. This is what gave me the confidence of, I see what I see on the charts, but I'm not sure like how many longs are being screwed here, How much absorption is there? Like how much sellers are coming after, In this case, to be fair, it's not the perfect setup. It's a 90% perfect setup. What you would want to see here, after these guys are absorbed and trapped, you would want to see like a big red ball here, right? A big red dot, like maybe this size, You didn't have that much absorption, that much selling power right away, but it did come here. And then you had a bit of a range here. You had some more longs attempting, right? Failing here, and then some big red shorts came back in. You had a retest, and what do you see here? Let's get to see what like more absorption looks like, right? We push back up, so let me show you. This is 8:30 a.m. Let's go to the 1 minute. Okay, let's see what happened here, right? So let's say we shorted here, pushes down. That's a little bit scary of a move, to be fair, right? Let's see what happens here at 8:30 a.m. Well, this happens here. This is 8:30 a.m. Big buyers, fails, pushes down. Even bigger buyers, right? In this whole area, fails, pushes down. What does that tell you? Even though you don't see a red line here with a lot of limit orders, the same way you had them here, that's fine. Sorry, I got Bookmap giving me a notification here on like a live trades going on. Okay, what do you see here? Even though you don't have like the big red line, you know that there is what you call icebergs. Icebergs are limit orders that are not visible on Bookmap or anywhere because they're hidden orders, right? I don't know how they do it, doesn't matter. We know they're there. You know why? Because we have way more market buyers clicking on the button, a lot of them, and price is not pushing up. In fact, it's trying once, twice with even more buyers, more here than there were there, right? And yet these guys cannot push price up. You don't see any limit orders here, no big red line, but price is not going up. You know there's a big seller here, a hidden big seller with limit orders just sucking up all that buying power, absorbing all that buying power, and just selling it down, right? So you don't have big red dots entering the market, but you know you have a big red limit guy here, limit order, a whale if you want to call it that, who's selling. So you don't even need that much confirmation from the big red market sellers because you know that you got the real big boy here who's selling all of that. So you could re-enter here. You could re-enter a short here. You say, listen, we know there's a lot of longs that are trapped here, and we grab the stop losses of the shorts from earlier. Here, we try once with a lot of buyers. We fail. We try again with even more buyers we saw on Bookmap. Let me give this a try. You can try this, or you can say, listen, sorry, I'm getting some more stuff from Bookmap here. It's telling me when there is big orders entering the market, big market orders. It's giving me a little AI robot voice that's telling me there's like 40 contracts being sold. Okay, you see, so you could have entered here. This is enough confirmation for a second entry. And look, you can draw a little Fibonacci level here. I don't know why I have this. Is weird. Do I have a regular one? Classic, yeah. Boom. What happens? This is a classic Fibonacci retest. I'm not going to go into it too much. Maybe I could in another video. Just let me know in the comments. But that's a Fibonacci level. We push down, we retest the 0.618, 65, golden pocket, golden zone, whatever you want to call it. So you say, okay, I missed this entry. Let me see if price pushes up and kind of retest this area. It sure does, and it does with the perfect setup, absorption, a lot of longs trying, failing, being trapped, and boom, we push down. Okay, what happens here again? We push down, back up. We're going to look on the chart what it looks like, 850, 855. Big longs again, fail, boom, we go back down. Okay, 850, 855. Where was that? Right here. Push down. Some people are saying, okay, we're done. You know, we're overextended to the downside. We're going to go back up. Let's long this. It's a reversal. Bad idea. Don't try to reverse the trend. Just trade with the trend. Boom. And then we go down. And then we go down a lot, right? Some more longs attempt, fail, boom. So this is what you want to be looking for. Basically, is the main thing is going to be absorption with the trend. You see a downtrend, okay, I want to go short at some point. I'm not going to go short, you know, anywhere. I'm going to wait for some longs to get in and get trapped and get absorbed. Because if I see big market longs being absorbed and they're failing, what does that tell me? There's big guys, bigger guys than them, sellers, limit order sellers who know what they're doing that are shorting the market right now. You want to be on the side of the smartest guys, right? Of the biggest guys, the guys with the big orders. So you don't want to be one of these guys like, oh, let me mark it in. Oh, yeah, we're going to reverse, click, 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 click. No, that's not the guy you want to be. Well, you want to be the guy that clicks because that's what we do, but you want to be clicking in the direction of the trend and in the direction that is chosen by the big guys, the big sellers here that are hidden here. Sometimes they put their limit order out. You can see it with the red line. But here again, there was a small one here, but there were some more big guys hidden behind this to absorb all of this price, right? What can I do? I can show you some setups that I took from yesterday. Let's look at these guys. This one was this morning. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can go into that trade from this morning, actually, that I showed you earlier. I think that was it, right? Yeah, right here. Okay. I'm going to draw the trend line for you. You're going to see, this is on the 1 minute time frame absorption. So we have a trend line, right? Boom. And we have, let's go maybe to the 5 minute because this is where the liquidity grab occurred. You have some 5 minute highs right here, okay? They get grabbed, we push down. Let's see what it looked like on Bookmap. Okay, similar pattern. We have a limit order right here, right? Big limit order, this time it's not hidden. But you know there's some big boys that are interested in shorting. That's not enough of a confirmation. But what do you see then? You see big buyers failing in this area, right? They buy, they push down. Then these shorts kind of fail, but we go retest that level. And this time, look how tiny these buyers are compared to these buyers. So this is now exhaustion. So we went through the idea of absorption. Absorption is, again, limit orders absorbing the selling power, the buying power, right? The market buyers. And then exhaustion, it's a very easy concept. It's, well, being exhausted, being tired, being like, ugh. So basically what you're seeing here is there were buyers pretty excited here. Then we go back and try it again a couple minutes later. And buyers are like, dude, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired. Nah. There's no more desire. There's no more desire for buying this market. So no more interest from the longs anymore. What you do see is exhaustion from the longs and the shorts, market shorts, not limit orders this time, but market shorts going like, hey guys, you know what? I could be interested in some shorts right now. So that's a beautiful setup. And on top of that, you know you have a lot of liquidity below because, again, there's people longing here. Well, we didn't go that low. That's why I'm not a greedy trader. But you know, people longing here and here, they have all of their stop losses down here and probably lower also, but we didn't go all the way down there. I was happy to take, you can see it again on my YouTube short from today. You can see this trade that I took. It was a 1 to 1.3. I got lucky because I got hit, but I didn't get lucky because again, I wasn't greedy. I'm not trying to be one of these guys. Yeah, bro, 1 to fucking 15. Come on, dude, just take your profits, okay? Go home, go walk your dog. So yeah, that was plus $400 this morning, and I did go walk my dog. I kind of missed this trade. I don't know. I probably would have taken it because it's a level that I drew earlier, but I was very happy with this, man. A 12-minute trade, literally. Let's see. I entered not even at the close of this candle, like right here. And sometimes, most of the time, I try to enter before even we break the trend line. Once I have my confirmation here and on Bookmap, I'm like, this is enough. There's a very high probability we're gonna go break that trend line and grab some lows, right? So I entered somewhere around here and took profits somewhere down there. Yeah, so I was in that trade for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, about 15 minutes, right? That was $400 in 15 minutes. That's about as good as it gets. Well, it does get better actually, but I'm a happy trader with that kind of reward. Okay, so that was the trade from this morning, and let's look at the trade from yesterday. Yeah, absorption, exhaustion. So early in the video, like most of the beginning was just about the absorption, right? I'm not going to go through it again, but just the absorption. This one I love is you have even more confirmation for your trade. It's absorption plus exhaustion. So what's the trade? That's the trade right here. So again, we have a downtrend here on gold. This is the 1 minute time frame. You have we put on a low, right? We push down, push up at a Fibonacci level, the golden zone again. Again, put it in the comments if you want me to do more videos on Fibonacci levels and also with order flow, it could be interesting. So yeah, we go back up here. I see some failure here, right, at these highs. Now, keep these highs in mind. And and on Bookmap, that's what I'm seeing. Look, this is at the Fibonacci level here, this area. There are some selling orders that we didn't even really hit. But what matters to me is that big longs absorbed, right? So there's a hidden order here absorbing these longs. And then we go down, and then we go back up a couple minutes later. And then look, tiny little longs, exhaustion. Price is not interested in going anymore. So I shorted, I think, from here. I waited for that little confirmation. Got a little bit scary here, not gonna lie. Then we pushed up, but not a lot of longs still, you know. Still more exhaustion at the same level. Not a lot of longs here compared to this guy. So we pushed down, right? And again, so this one, I really wasn't greedy. This was a 1-to-1 because you can't see like to the left that much, but we had been pushing for quite a while. And I had been late on these shorts. I wanted to get in. I couldn't find the right trade. And I was like, okay, let me get into this one, but have a tight take profit because it was overextended. The move was overextended, and we were starting to kind of range. So I was very happy to take profits here. I think we really pushed up after that, actually. Yeah, that's it. Should I go on Bookmap a little bit more and see what happened earlier? 8 a.m. Okay. Did we go through? Yeah. Oh, this is what's happening right now. That's interesting. This is, okay, we're now at the present time. It's 10:15 a.m., 10:30. Well, we're still in a very powerful downtrend. What you can see here, this is, I'm not longing this. First of all, I'm done trading for the day. But you do have something interesting here. We are, let me see how we're on the charts right now. So this is a very powerful downtrend. Could we go for a little bit of a reversal from here, you know, do a little bit of something like this and maybe crash again? Possibly. But I'm not interested in longing against that very powerful downtrend. Maybe we could grab these highs here, you know, and do a fake out and then push down. But what's happening at the bottom here is what's interesting, because you do see, I'm going to show you on Bookmap, but you see there's big limit orders here, visible limit orders, not icebergs. And you got some big shorts here being absorbed. Look at that. So these limit orders, 270, that's a lot. And now 187, that's a lot. Look guys, normally you have like 18, 10, these are small limit orders, right? But here, that's a lot. Wow, I'm curious. If we break through that level and we beat all of these limit orders with market orders, that means the downtrend is gonna go crazy even more. If we do bounce, that means these big boys are ready to push price up and reverse. Either way, I'm not interested. I've made my money. I'm not going to give it back. But okay, what do you see here? You have already some big 473. Dude, I think I've never seen that on Bookmap yet. This is volume. Okay, so just 150. Dude, that's crazy. That's a lot of volume, guys. Like, usually you'll have like 40, 130, 170 red ball like this is pretty big, right? I'll see that, you know, somewhat often. 470 is madness. And then you have 260 limit orders, which usually you'll have like 80, 120. Wow. Okay, but what are you seeing, guys? Just, you know, I've been chatting here. I didn't describe much, but you're seeing, if you've been listening to me earlier, what's happening here with these red guys here? That's a big, big seller. By the way, the volume of the red dot, you can see it down here. When I'm going to put my cursor on it, look down here. You're going to see volume 471, okay? And then the green one here is 148. That's a lot of volume. Okay, so this guy is obviously being absorbed, right? Even though we didn't even hit that limit order here, right? We didn't really touch it yet. It's still there. There's still all of these contracts here, 266. They're still waiting to be filled. You know that at this level, there's already some hidden orders that absorb 430 contracts. So there's really some absorption here. Still not a lot of buyers, not a lot of market buyers here. Some traders, that's their strategy. They're going to do some reversal trades and, you know, go for a 1 to 5 risk to reward, and that's great for them. I'm not interested because we know that there's still a lot of selling orders, selling interest in this area. And the trend is so strong, you could get another 500 contracts just breaking through. But this is interesting to see if we were doing like a live stream, which I'm going to start doing again soon, we would stay here and we would watch this together because we now have a lot of orders here too. 187, that's huge. 266, that's huge. I would love to know what's going to happen here in the next, you know, half hour or so. But yeah, you got some absorption. Not a lot of market buyers though. Listen, that's it for the video, guys. So the main points are what? On the chart, liquidity grabs, right? Stop hunts, right? That's number one. That's what you want to look for first. You draw your lines, you draw your levels where you think stop losses may be. And then you wait for price to, well, in this case here, get up there, go back down, right? And see some volume on the candles, right? You see, okay, now there's real sellers, like on this one, for example. Let me enter, let me scalp this, okay? Then if you have Bookmap, which I strongly advise, you look for, I'm not gonna go back to that level, right? But you look for some trap longs here and some sellers entering, right? Here, same situation. You want to see some trap longs, absorption, right, on Bookmap. Ideally, even exhaustion, right? You don't always have exhaustion, but if you have it, it's great. But big absorption is enough. And then some sellers, some volume on the candles, and ideally also on bookmap. Guys, these setups are not difficult. You can even forget about the trend line. Just focus on some levels, some strong levels, where there are possibly a lot of stop losses, or even some retest levels like Fibonacci. Go with the trend. Find the liquidity levels where there's stop losses. Find some volume after we grabbed it. Find some volume to the other side. That's it. It doesn't have to be much more complicated than that. I know that bookmap can look a bit complicated, but in the end, it's not really. Look what this is. I mean, it can be a little bit overwhelming, but dude, it's just dude or ma'am. It's just big red dots and big green dots and red dots. Buyers, sellers. Oh, look, a lot of buyers, big buyers. They failed. We're going down. Okay? Now, you need to put that into context. You need to backtest it to really like understand it, but the concepts are not complicated. Trading doesn't have to be that complicated. If you have an instrument like this, it's going to help out so much. But if you have a strategy like this already, you're going to get some dang good trades. All right, so I'm going to cut the video now. I think it's been a while. Yeah, let me know, please let me know in the comments. First of all, if you thought that was helpful, if I did a good job explaining these concepts, these ideas. If you want me to go in a little bit more details on some stuff. Actually, there's some people that asked me to show them my bookmap settings, and I forgot to do it in the previous video. So let me do that right now. Heat map set. Listen, I kind of change them quite often, but this is it. For me, what matters is, so the heat map, you can screenshot this and do the same, right? You can change this. Like, honestly, it doesn't really matter that much. I like to focus on the dot the most and have an idea of seeing a bit these limit orders too. But I kind of change it sometimes depending on like how the market is. I kind of change it a little bit. And then the volume dots, again, you can screenshot this. Again, the size, if there's not a lot of volume sometimes, I'm going to change the size a little bit. It's a visual thing. Transparency, it doesn't change anything apparently. And this, you see, I want to have, like, this is not enough, right? So I need to have more dots. I don't want to have too much, right? So it's just, you know, it just needs to make sense. I play around, like, I always change it a little bit. Smart, clustering, dude, that's it, honestly. Yeah, so just take a screenshot and okay, that's it, guys. Yeah, please let me know in the comments if this is helpful. If you have questions that you would like for me to answer in another video, I'm gonna make more in videos basically just talking about similar things. In another one, I'm gonna go into these volume candles here, right? Volume indicator, because this is quite helpful too, to know like what the trend is doing also I think is very important. Yeah, let me know what you want me to talk about in the next video, and I'll be happy to do that for you guys. All right, have a great day.